Good evening, everybody. This is Tenacious Earl with the Tenacious Golf Tour 2018 season. It's Tuesday. Actually, it's not Tuesday night. It's Monday night. And, man, time does fly. We've been making our way through the summer. You may hear the cheerful, soothing tones of the crickets in my basement. It's a sure sign that summer is coming to an end, and maybe that some nasty weather is starting to stir itself up, as we've had a lot of rain, and it looks like we're going to be getting some hurricane weather coming up the coast here in the next few days. So, prayers will be sent out to those in the Carolinas. It looks like that's where landfall will be made. But fortunately for us, we will be playing a virtual tournament based out of the southern part of Boston, probably not too far from where the Patriots play their home games. Norton, Massachusetts is the actual name of the town that TPC Boston is in. This is not TPC Boston. This is the Play, P-L-A-A-Y, mock-up of it, if you will call it that. I don't mean to, I hope that doesn't sound like a derogatory term, but I just mean that as its representation of it, called Great Woods. So their game is History Maker Golf, and we've had a lot of that on the channel here, and just trying to push our way through this. This tour is 3 tournaments away from being complete. We're in the playoffs. We've cut from 125 down to 100. This tournament, we'll see a cut of cut line of in the 70 to 80 range again, but then after that we'll cut. After the tournament, we will cut and take the top 70 into the final, the penultimate tournament, we'll call it, and that is the Potomac Playoff Classic, which will be at Federal Country Club, also known as Congressional. So we'll do that, and then we will round it all up with a final at East Lake, better known in the play world as Peachtree Golf Club, in the greater Atlanta area. And we will look to close it out in fashion and see if Dustin Emmert can hold on to that top spot and win the Tour Championship, or if a guy like Gil Granbury or Carson Riddell or Yunli Song can pull off a big victory in a higher stakes tournament at the end. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to get through rounds 1, 2, and 3 right here in this video. So stay with us. We will be right back with that here from Great Woods in the greater Boston area for the New England Playoff Classic here on Tabletop Baseball Plus. Good evening, Stratomatic, Delaware. I see you there. Although it looks like you might have taken off already, that is no problem at all. So we've got 2 piles right here. I am not going to show you the sheet this time. I do have pictures loaded in my phone, and I could put them in here, but I'm just going to go for it here and let you guys trust that I know what I'm doing, and I kind of trust that you've watched some videos before. If not, go back and watch some of my other cut round and third round videos. That should give you an idea of how we do this. But we have 100 golfers, as I said before, and I just need to randomize these as best I can. Oh, you're still there. I see a 0 in my viewer count on my app here, which is obviously not correct, which is cool. Maybe we have more than just you here, and I just don't know, because I do know that there's another broadcast, I think Stunning Steve Tower is doing a History Maker Baseball video, which for his project, which I would encourage you all who are watching this live to go subscribe to his channel and give him a view. I think you'll like his stuff. But you know, sometimes you just have to do things when you have time, and I have time, so I am. And time and energy. I think if any of you watched some of my more recent videos, I've talked about just trying to keep the motivation level up, and so some days are better than others, and tonight's a good one. So just getting rocking and rolling here, and on the move and ready to go. So I actually would have probably liked to hit some second season tonight, but you know, sometimes you got to go with what is right in front of you and attainable, and there's an end to this project in sight. If I can, well, first off, if I can just keep my phone from turning into a pile of rubble, for one thing. I mean, the project would get done whether my phone is rubble or not, but I definitely do not want to drop that. But you know, I will say that this card set, there's enough consistency. I've criticized a little bit of the tournament rating thing. I also have to say that the tournament rating does help to give some needed consistency. I think you need to kind of have some favorites and some not so favorites in these broadcasts, and in your tour, because if not, a lot of the names just kind of like run together, and when you start you know, trying to make heads or tails of Dwayne Bradshaw or you know, Rogelio Ryan, and they're all kind of the same rating, you know, Mike Keller or Kenny Hughes, or you know, it can be kind of tough. They don't really come off so different. But you know, it's like when you've got a guy who's labeled at 1A, you're going to have some people who might watch this or who would play it out and say, oh, I'm an Emmerich fan. And then you'd have others who would say, oh, I really don't want Emmerich to win. So, or you might have some that just say, I'm interested in seeing what happens. So, all right, here we go. So we've got 100. It's going to be smaller piles here, but we're still going to do the cut. And so what we're still going to do a morning and afternoon, but it will be, again, the piles will be a little smaller. I'm going to just do a little bit. Hope everybody's football teams have brought them joy so far. Mine has not, but you would have to rationalize that for the most part it would be about a 50-50, right? I mean, although there would be a skewing, I think, towards, you know, you probably got your New England, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Oakland. They're kind of the most well represented. Maybe Giants and somewhat Jets because they're metropolitan areas, and you know, maybe you're getting a few more Charger and Ram fans, but you know, you've got exactly 4 as far as watch out for the flying golf balls that are going to be coming at people's heads here. Okay, so we tried to do pretty well here. We've got 8 piles. I'm not going to stress too much if we get too many if we don't have enough in one pile. It's kind of the way this game is designed. So let me get out my dice. I kind of put them away after last time. Oh no, and my chips are spilling. Time for a little cleanup on aisle 2 here. So yeah, I feel a little better now. I don't know what. Yeah, I know Strat Delaware is. I can definitely. I would have absolutely guessed that you would be someone that would be of the sort of old school mentality that a tie is not such a great result, but I do think the Browns are quite improved this year, and I don't know, Ben's getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know, we'll have to see. He might be okay. There's also a bad weather weekend for almost everybody on the East Coast and in the Midwest too. So, okay, let's go with pile 1 here. I'm not going to do any zooming. I'm just going to go through it here. You can see 25. We go in ascending order. And again, here are your crickets, if you can hear them blazing away. Draw 3, top 2. So we're going to draw 3. Nate Killow, Franz Ockel, and Ryan Broadus will be your draw guys, and then we're going to take the top 2 from here. So you got Kawahara, who's a 4B, Jimmy Kimes, a 3A. So those are the 2 so far that are top of the heap. You got a 3A here that's Lanny Saxerholt. That's going to knock Kawahara off the perch. 3C, Dale George is not going to make it. And a 5A, Craig Angelo. So quite a few lesser ranked golfers in that pile. So you get a couple 3As out of that one. So pile number 2, that is 35. And so that is draw 2. Jae Gun Woo, Myung Cho, and now the top 3 remaining. And so we've got 4. So let's just we'll start with the top 2. So that's 5B, Mazzanti and Menini. 3B, it will knock Mazzanti out. So 3B, 4A, and then Harley Villanueva is a 3C. So Menini will miss the cut. And we got 2 that go in. Pile 3. 12. Draw 1 off the top. Stuart Ash, and then the top golfer after that will be the only one left. So Tord Thorson. So David Alvestad's a 3C. He will take over for now. Alardo Huerta. John Westinghouse will knock Alvestad out. Westinghouse a winner on tour. Steve Fauci, so we might have a tie there at 3A, and it is. So 4C. Okay, well, we're going to have some high-ranked golfers maybe paired up here in one of these later piles. We'll see. So here's pile number 4. And there's 12 again, so we draw the top one. It's going to be Todd Ahrens, a winner on tour. And now the second one, top. So 4B, Kerry Finley. 2A, Justin Wallace. There's a guy in the top 20. 4A, it's Trevor Nolan. He's going to miss the cut. Gareth Leonard, a 1B, will knock Wallace into the out of the weekend rounds, and then 3B, Denny Rowetter will miss the cut as well. So there we go with those piles. Now we will, so 24, draw 2. All right, here we go. Ethan McMillan and Tagaki Yamasaki make the cut, and then the top 2 on top of that. So Will Janis is a 3B. Bruno Friedman's a 4B. Will this card beat him out? Adam Trenchard, yes. So Janis and Trenchard make it. Friedman misses the cut. Pile number 6. 26. We're going to draw 4 off the top. 1, Braden LaSalle Jr. 2, Martin Van Dyke. 3, Jeremiah James. And 4, Yi Chen. So there are your 4 draw golfers. And then you get 2 top ones on top of that. Well, we're only going to take 1 because there was only 1 left, and it's going to be Greer Copeland III. So that's how we will work that. Here is pile 6 or pile 7. 13, draw 2 off the top. 1, Yun Lee Song. 2, Chase Stevenson. And then the top remaining golfer after that. So we've got Su Chen Tien, 3B. Jason Huffman's a no. He's a 3C. And you got 3A for Darren Sears, knocks Tien out. And then a 4A, Leon Bay. So one more pile here for the morning. And 44, draw 1. Carlos Solari, and then the top 4 on top of that. So let's just go ahead and Gooch Wilborg, Shinji Kanishi, Palmiro Cavallari, and Gail Honorado. So those are your 4 so far, but we got a big pile here. So this is one that... So Yusuf will knock Wilborg out. Now if you could get a 1, you're going to knock Yusuf out. Mateo Soto, well, he's going to knock Yusuf, but now you're going to have Mateo Soto in that pile, and I think he's guaranteed at this point. Rogelio Ryan will miss out. Leroy Castillo, and finally, Ji Woon Ko, he's going to miss out. So these 4 will make it in, and that's your morning rounds in under 20 minutes. How about that? And now the afternoon. See, and like I've said many times, if you watch other videos, you just do the best you can. I'm trying to... But I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of extra maintenance here because they seem a little askew. Well, we'll try that. It's pretty close. Go this way. Okay, so here we go. Afternoon pairings. 11. That means we have an injury. So the the draw golfer Malcolm Wiles, I think he was injured earlier in the season. How about that? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not. It might not have been Wiles, but got to get my injury chart out here. So we will re-roll and see how long he is injured. But this could hurt his chances of getting into the final 2 turn. Well, it's definitely going to hurt his chances of the final 2 turns. He'll still make the tour next year. And I got this leaning up here. I got to re-roll this guy. 46. He is out till further notice with an arm injury. So I got to write this down. Malcolm Wiles. So the cut. Injuries. Malcolm. TFN arm. Okay, and I gotta find my Tenacious Tour injury packet. That looks like yeah, there we go. Tour members week off injury. It may actually free somebody up from one of their till further notices. I gotta update the thing afterwards. So the top golfer now will be moving on out of this group. So let's see. Here's Alec Newcomb, a 4C, probably not going to make it. 1A, Dustin Emmerich, there you go. Basically, I can tell you the rest of these are going to miss out because Emmerich is the top golfer, period, altogether. So Robards, Sudbury, Hudspeth, Fonseca, and Heath Summers is going to miss the cut. So a rather hideous roll for Summers. He's one of the guys in the top 5, I believe. So next pile, 14, we'll have draw 3 off the top, and then the top remaining golfer will be outstanding. Samir Webb. 2. Oh boy, this is going to be too small. So I'm going to take the top golfer from this and make him outstanding. Whoever it is, it's going to be Eddie Sykes. So he's going to be outstanding. There you go. That's how I will do this one. I'm going to write it down so I keep track. Okay. Pile number 3. 35. That's going to be draw 2 off the top. Kenneth Hahn. Dustin Jimenez. A couple of my custom cards get in the top. And then, let's see, 35. The top 3 remaining. Well, that's going to be all these 3. It's going to be Demelmeyer, New, and Roca. So they're all going to make it. Pile 4. 14 again, draw 3, Aldrich, Zephaniah Scott, Mauricio Mondragon, and Rance Aberley. That's the... Oh, wait, we need to draw 3. So Aberley is in the hunt for the top, and he is a 2A, so then the top will be outstanding as well. Boyd Yeager will miss the cut. Carson Riddell is going to knock Aberley into the... missed the cut, and Gary Patel. So Carson Riddell will be outstanding. So now we have 2 outstanding golfers. Pile 5. We're halfway through the afternoon rounds. 33 will be draw 3. So we're going to take the top 3, the 3 off the top of this pile. Celestino Garcia, Patrick Kieran, and finally Danny Gallatin. Okay, so now who are the other 2? Got Dave Simanowicz, a winner, and Toshio Takai. How unfortunate. Okay. Pile 6, 44. That's going to be draw 1. CJ Hope. And then the top 4 after that, we have 5. So let's throw the 4 right here out first. Trent McAdams, he's going to absolutely make it. Burke Yielding, he's fine. Maruts Hirano and Benicio Vasquez, guess what? They are both going to end up making it, and it could be 5 that go in. Gary Zakowski, a winner, he will not. I think he won the most recent tournament, so he misses out. Based on that, he is not a top golfer, so. Now, pile 7. 34, draw 1 outstanding. It will be Sonny Lemons. There you go, draw 1 outstanding. So Sonny Lemons, he's going to make lots of Sonny Lemonade on the weekend. Not a bad chance at all at making the final pairings if he can if he can roll a one that has a draw and a top, but because he is obviously he has a better rating than the 3B, so. And then we've got top 3 after that, and we have 5 more in this pile. So let's just take the 3 here. Samson Tucker, a 3C. Messick, a 3B. Looks like Messick will make it here. It's a matter of who else makes it. 2B, Kenji Morita. Now it's going to be, if it's a 3C, you take 5. If it's under 3C, it's a 3B. So we're going to have Samson Tucker and Newt Washburn miss out, and it'll be Nick Yarlett, Connor Messick, Kenji Morita making the cut, and one last pile right here, and it's 35. So that's going to be draw 2 off the top. Shane Sterling makes it. Smokey Novak makes it. He was in the final pairings, I believe, last time around, and so they make it. And 35 means we take the top 3 after that, and there's 4 left. So let's take these 3. Mackay Berry, Enrique Magallanes, Gil Granbury will make it. It's just a matter of, can you find someone who's not above 2B? And it's not. It's Fabio Antonucci. So Mackay Berry will also make it, and that will be our cut. These guys are going to have to see how the money sorts itself out and see if they will be carrying forward to Congressional. If not, they will pretty much have their money spot cemented in the top between, well, in the order 71 to 100 somewhere. So Strat Delaware definitely does not bite. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't 100% confirm it. I have to take his word for it. I think he seems like a pretty reasonable guy, and doesn't. I don't think in any of his videos I've seen him foaming at the mouth. So even if he were to bite, I don't think rabies is an option. Now, the crickets I'm not sure about. I have seen some spit, kind of, frothing from their beaks. So that could be something that I need to be careful of here. There's also the, what do they call them? The sprickets, I think. There's crickets that have sort of a spider, hybrid of some sort. So, and I may be just talking out my rear end too, but you find all sorts of stuff when you brew beer and you don't do it for a long time. There are things that will pop up in your bottles, in your keg, all that stuff. So now what we do is we take our guys who made the cut, and hey, Mark Russell, how are you? Sprickets are freaky. The things that you find in lower, slower Delaware, the swampy lowlands. BBFB. Oh, the Butter Bench FB. Yes, I missed your first post there. I was kind of freaked out by the sprickets. The prospects of some nasty insect or whatever hybrid. Now, I actually, what was really cool tonight was, so my backyard has, for many years, my kids have grown now, and it's been a collecting spot for a number of things, including some yard toys, like a really small slide, and there's still a toy box out there that's got a bunch of like sports yard type toys in it that they never really used because they were always scared of the bugs and other stuff. And we had a dog until earlier this year. She passed away, but yeah, there was usually some fun gifts left by the dog out there, so everybody was kind of hesitant to go out and play in the yard. So anyway, I also had a rusty old gas lawnmower, and so I drug those things. I had my daughter help me drag those things out to the curb, and as I put the last thing I put out there was the lawnmower. As I was putting it there, this guy in a Carolina Panthers jersey drives up with a truck and a trailer, and he's like, "Is that scrap metal?" I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, and he's like, "Hey, I'll take that." And so he must go around every once in a while, grab some scrap metal. And so I as he was driving off, I started, because we have a stop sign not too far, I started running after him. I got his attention. I was like, "Hey, would you take an old grill that's kind of rusted out a little bit too?" He's like, "Oh, sure." So he came and got that. So I hit I kind of got a real nice gift tonight, and that I was kind of worried that maybe the town wouldn't take my rusty junker stuff, and instead someone else did, and is going to probably get a couple bucks for it. So good for them, good for me. I'm more than happy. So hopefully that story was entertaining to you all, and I know I did not end up getting cut or anything. No tetanus shots necessary, no potential for lockjaw, as much as you guys probably would enjoy having my jaw get basically wired shut from a disease. And no, I'm just kidding. I guess that's pretty hideous kind of disease. So no disrespect to anybody who's had. I think if you have lockjaw, I think you're in pretty rough shape. I'm not sure. So I don't think there's anything to worry about as far as people who have. There probably aren't too many who have survived it. So now that I'll get off the grotesque, morbid talk that has become a staple of my life. No, I'm just kidding. And I am not really liking the fact that when I look at these, I see all those fat cards at the top. So, in this case, I'm going to take a little more time, and I am going to use a D20 for this one. I'll tell you what they are. They may be glutton for punishment a bit, Strat Delaware, but I think what I have found is that you guys are an awful lot like me, and we don't always have the most pure as the driven snow minds. We tend to probably like similar stupidity, like guys running their skateboards off a hill and like scorpion in their legs over top and all that good stuff. But yeah, anyway. All right, so I am going to do this because I do want randomness. I was pretty good there the first time, but I'm looking at this and I'm seeing like this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and that guy. Actually, all four of these and probably that one are my custom cards. So I really don't want to skew it in that direction. I'm afraid I'm going to. So let's roll the 2d6s for the first pile. And then we have our 8th pile, which is the outstanding golfers. So, without further ado, that is 34. So, that will be the top golfer, contends with A- without a perk. So, and then the low golfers. And then others are going to contend with B+. So, we're going to have some contenders out of this. So, we'll go with top first. We've got Mackay Berry with the 2B. He's at least a fair shot here. Kenji Morita will tie him with 2B. Then you got Nick Yarlett, a 3B. He will not. Currently the low golfer, actually. Braden LaSalle will fall in the middle. Jimmy Kimes, a 3A. Another 3A, Lanny Saxerholt. 3C will take over for Yarlett, and will it be? It'll be 3B. So we're going to end up with Morita and Berry. We're going to have Moberly in the D- category, and then these guys are going to be contenders, and then we're going to have to roll the... Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a D6 because I want someone to make it. So 1 to 3 will be Morita. Actually, we have to switch these around. Berry was first. 1 to 3 is Berry. 4 to 6 is Morita, and 1 to 3 Berry. He will be the what was it? A-. And then Morita will go in with the B+. So there we go. So even when you try to avoid having your custom cards be biased, they still somehow seem to find a way in. All right, roll number 2. I do not have the window open. My basement tends to... I think I must have a cricket magnet down here. I don't know what that is, but they seem to conglomerate. I'm glad that you like the ambiance. I should probably record them at night and use it as a background. You may think I'm already doing that, but I'm not. 25. So draw golfer will contend with A. So let's fan him out here. I'm going to do it my old-fashioned way, which is to use the old D20er. All right, so we've got a 1 to 8 situation here, and then a 9 to 16. So we would just wrap around up to 16, and it is 6, which is going to be this one right here. So who is it? It is Danny Gallatin, who has been in some final rounds. So the draw golfer on a 25 gets an A, and he will get a tourney perk or an issue. So I will give it the old write down here. Danny Gallatin. Okay, and then the top golfer will contend with A-. So we've got Samir Webb. He's not going to be the top golfer, right? Harley Villanueva, he doesn't really have much of a chance either. Franz Ockel, he's got a chance, but very slim. Yep, Gail Honorado now takes over. Bob Demelmeyer, he's going to finish at C- with the rest of these guys who are not at Honorados so far. So let's see, yeah, and he would be at A- unless one of these other two can beat him out. That is a 4B for Stuart Ash. And finally, a 3A, Darren Sears. So Gail Honorado will be at A-. And then C will be the rest of these bozos. And there we go. Yeah, golfing at twilight was always pretty nice. It's been a long time since I've done that. So that's a 46, and a 46, a draw golfer contends with A-. No perk. So let's put him out here for a roll, and that is 8. So again, 1 to 16. And that is 18, so that will not do us any good. We will re-roll. 20 won't either. There's 4. Right here is number 4. So the draw golfer that is going to end up at A- with Mackay Berry and Gail Honorado is, boom, Joshua New. All right. So then the low golfer finishes with D-. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn some of these over. These guys are all custom. So 3C, 4A, another 3C. So 4A currently the lowest golfer. Zephaniah Scott will be with him. Dustin Emmerich is going to miss the cut. Or not miss the cut. He's not going to be in the final groups. He will finish with D. So, and Smokey Novak. So Dustin Emmerich. Well, let's see. We have your low is Scott and Hahn. They're going to be at D- along with Ellis Moberly over here. Dustin Emmerich and Smokey Novak, Dustin Jimenez, Rudy Wallace, Kyson Rolka will be at D. So the big dog will not eat on Sunday. So here is pile number 4. That is 56. Draw golfer contends with A-. And then everybody else finishes with D. So these high rolls will potentially lead to some good golfers missing out here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and so we can go up to 18, and this is going to be 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw golfer contends with A-. It is Jeremiah James. And so the rest will finish with D. We've got Celestino Garcia, Mateo Soto, Shinji Kanishi, Shane Sterling, Nate Killo. Yun Lee Song is going to finish along with Dustin Emmerich, so there's going to be no ground gain. Enrique Magallanes and Maurizio Mondragon. So, big pile there. Now, some guys missing out. So now let's see if we can get a top golfer in out of this roll. Another 46. It's going to be another draw golfer. We've got to run on 6s, which seems to get some of these draws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 18 again. And it's going to be 18 right on the money. Trent McAdams gets the draw golfer, and he's going to contend with A- as well. A bunch of guys at A- right now. And so the low golfer will finish with D-. Martin Van Dyke misses out. Jae-Gun Woo 3B could be 4C. Yi Chen is the lowest so far. Kieran Westinghouse. Gil Granbury in this pile. And there's a 4B. Ryan Broadus. These guys will finish at D. We're going to have a big group of guys at D, and we got some guys at D-. So now we've got 2 piles left. Some big names currently Not going to be in these final groups. 44, all golfers contend with B+. So we're going to have to take a bunch of guys out of B+. We got Greer Copeland, Evan Aldrich, Adam Trenchard, Carlos Solari, Gareth Leonard, Will Janis, Myung Cho, Reasoner, Stevenson, Fo Shi. We got a lot of guys going into B+. We've got currently 6 guys over here. We have 2 more piles to go. 23, a draw golfer contends with A, and we're going to end up with more at B+. So let's put them out here. See who the draw golfer would be. This is going to be a bit of a crapshoot in this final round, I do believe. So 7, we can go up to 14, and it's going to be 11. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Todd Aarons, we remember him. So he is a draw. He'll be with Gallatin at A. And so then everybody else contends with B+. Yamasaki, Palmiro Cavallari, Burke Yielding, CJ Hope, Benicio Vasquez, and Marus Hirano. And now what we have a bunch in the... We have 3 in the outstanding. We've got Lemons, Rodell, and Sykes. 24, the top golfer will be at A with a perk. That will be Carson Rodell. Others finish with C+, so Lemons and Sykes are going to miss out on the final round there. So we need to write Rodell. Gets a perk. Okay, so now we've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 4 more out of this pile. So, what I will do is I am going to shuffle this pile up. We've got quite a few in here. I'm going to cut it into 4. And then I am going to use the decider die to figure out whether we're going to draw from a pile or take the top from a pile. And we will do the same mechanism as for this third round if we have a tie, if it's a top. Okay, so we're going to take, there's 2, there's 4. Okay, so here we go. First pile, so the dot will mean draw, the knot will mean top. First one is a draw, and so we will use the D20 to get us, we have 5 in this pile. So we can go up to 20, and it is 20. It's going to be the last one. It's going to be Kenji Morita. He will be one of the ones at B+ in contention. Who did we miss? Solari, Vasquez, Hirano, and Copeland. So they will also be at B+, but they will not be factored in. Pile number 2 will be also draw. So let's 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. That will be this guy, Connor Messick. He has been in some final rounds. We've got Palmiro Cavallari, Tagaki Yamasaki, Nick Yarlett, Burke Yielding. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so now here we go. It will also be a draw. We're getting a lot of draws here. The decider die is being happy with the dot. A couple extra in this pile. We got 7 up to 14. 6. So 6 is right here. Adam Trenchard. We got Fo Shi, Janis, Aldrich missing out. Gareth Leonard missing out. LaSalle Jr., CJ Hope. And finally, the last one. Are we going to get all draw? No, we won't. So this will be a top. 5 in this pile. It's going to be Myung Cho, Jimmy Kimes, Chase Stevenson, John Reasoner, and Lanny Saxerholt. No ties. Myung Cho will be the final one in the group. So this worked out pretty well this time. And we are at 45 minutes. We've got time before the hour is complete to just start getting set up with the final round pairings. So let's get all this together. We got a lot of guys at D that are good. The D6s were a little unkind to them tonight, but I guess that's going to probably leave some more excitement for later on. Dustin Emmerich is not pulling away, so that's going to keep everybody pretty in touch with leaders. Someone might even get up there close to the top if they can pull out a victory here. So, what are we going to do now? Well, we need to... Oh, goodness. I realize that I do not know what the score was from the tournament a year ago. So, how am I going to do this? Well, tell you what. I'm going to go with my tried and true method that I've done for the Slacker Tour in this event. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just sort of a starting point. It is par 71 to be accurate. So what I do for Slacker is I take 5 dice and I roll them and add them up, and that's going to be the under par score. So I'm going to roll them out here. This is the target score. So we get 5, 10, 14, 15, 16 under par. And a par 71 would be 213. And I said 16 under would be a 197. Is that right? 197 and 16 is 213. So hold on. I don't need to do that. I need the 284 target score minus 16 and 284. That is a 184, 174, 164 plus 4, 268. I mean 268. Is that right? 268 and 16 is 284. How about that? Math is your friend sometimes. It can also be your enemy if you do things wrong. Okay. So what I'm going to do is set up the old school guys here like this and not worry about, because I'm running a little late on time here, so let's just try to get this thing over. I know what my target's going to be. Actually, I guess what I could do. Let's take a look here at the chart. So 268 falls in this range right here. So we have A as the best, 203, which would end up being 10 under par, correct? Let's see. Minus 10. That's right. So real quick. Math good. Sprickets rather troublesome, yes. Things to trouble your mind. That is faux show. Okay, we're getting there. So I'm going to put the minus 10 right up here so that way we know just about what we got here. So Danny Gallatin, well, he'll be at minus 10. So that kind of sets us straight here. Todd Aaron's also at minus 10. Carson Riddell will be at minus 9. Okay, Mackay Berry first. He'll be 2 back, -8. Honorado, nope. -7. Joshua New, yes. 2 back. Jeremiah James, nope. And Trent Old Boy McAdams, he'll be a yes. So finally we have Merida, Messick, Trenchard, and Cho. They'll be either 4 or 5 back. So Merida, it's off the screen. It will be a yes. So that'll be 4 behind. Messick, a no. He'll be 5 back. Adam Trenchard, yes, 4 behind. Last but not least, Myung Cho. He'll be with Messick, 5 back. So that's where it's going to stand at the moment. Okay, so we are in the Greater Boston area. And what do we call Greater Boston? This is in August. We will call that... Wow, this is the New England Playoff Classic. So go figure, we will call this the Humid Northern Continental or New England. Get your chowder. Go park your car at Harvard Yard and take the tea in. Be careful in Southie. Alright, so we're August here and we're in this range. So what do we got? 13. Oh, we've got H for heat. It's a hot one here in Beantown. Oh, it's a hot one here in Beantown. Watch yourself. All golfers with a red chip are also stormy. Okay, so I got to get out my score sheet. This heat here is wicked hardcore. I'd like to be doing my what is that called? Goodwill Hunting. Alright, so this is TGT playoff time. I just got to get this written down here. So we've got heat advisory. Things are warming up. So we'll just leave it at this for now. But yeah, so your pairings are going to be Gallatin and Aarons, Rodell and Mackay. You got New and McAdams, and Gonorado, James, Merida, Trenchard, Messick, Cho. Yeah, Ben Affleck's one of them. And Matt Damon, probably, I guess he's probably not in that movie, but there's, Mocky Mock Wahlberg and all that good stuff. You got them good vibrations, them sweet sensations, yeah. I guess I should have done that at the right pitch and not taken it down an octave or whatever. You've got the good vibrations. Hey, there's Ken. I missed out on Ken. Sorry, Ken. I apologize for not seeing you sooner, but I was too busy trying to imitate the No, I'm not going to go there. I was going to say something, but I got to be careful because I don't want to project on anybody. I think for the most part, people up there are pretty good, but some of the attitudes about sports can leave me wanting. Okay, we're at 54 minutes. We're almost ready to shut her down here, but we've got 2 tourney perks and issues, guys. We got Gallatin, so we will roll first with Gallatin, and we've got 1 and a 2. too many Sam Adams. I wish I had. Well, I don't have one. I do have a couple of. What are they called? Fat tires, but I think that's from Colorado. So got that Rocky Mountain High going. So we got 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Gain a choice quality, and it could be till further notice. Let's roll and see. Nope, not till further notice. So gain a choice quality for Danny Gallatin. All right, so what we will gain him is... Huh? Benny is in here watching. How about that? Poor Benny. His ears are now bleeding. Yeah, so we're going to give him... let's give him a semi-gold. How about that? Let's boost his putting a little bit here. Actually, I'll just write it down. Not till further notice, but he will get semi-gold. So when I say gain a choice quality, what you do is, if you're going to do putting, because he is, if you see, he is semi-rust. See, come on, there you go, semi-rust. You can only take it up a full quality when you do the gain quality. So from semi-rust, you can only go to semi-gold, which is still a boost for Mr. Danny Gallatin. And now you've got Carson Riddell at -9, who will be next. And it's a 6 on the white die over here, and then a 3. So let's see what we got. He is going to gain the lucky quality. So Riddell... What does lucky mean? Lucky means that if you run out of blue chips on a hole, you will, when you start the next hole, you gain another blue chip. So you will start every hole with at least one blue chip if you are lucky. So, and remember that anybody who, so the other thing about lifting him up to semi-gold, if you recall the rules of the game, that really comes into play mostly with the clutch putting. And so, you probably get 3 or 4 clutch putts around, I'm guessing. That's just my rough guesstimate. And for a guy who is 1 to 2, he's either going to be spending blue chips to try and lift it up to semi-gold usually, or he's going to a third of the or 2/3 of the time he's going to earn a red chip, and if he earns the red chip, he ends up stormy. So he won't be as stormy as often, and actually he could use a blue chip to get the full gold, and then he really cuts it down to a 1/6 chance. It's huge being like, hey, there's Mike McAllister. Hey, we got a bunch of guys around here tonight. I like that. One moment as I turn this fellow around, and we'll talk to you guys for a couple of short minutes, since we are still, I think we're still a bit before 10 o'clock. I may be wrong with that, but I don't have a time measuring device right in front of me. So, all right, that's that. Good stuff. Just again, I want to get this project complete and be able to do the old woohoo. And yeah, this weekend was a kind of a funk weekend for me. First off, Friday night watched the high school team that my kids are in the school district. They have one high school, and that high school was state champions for 3 years in a row, and they have 953 says Strat Delaware, but they were knocked off their perch. Of course, they lost in the first game last year to their rivals, Middletown. So it's not the end of the world, but you can definitely tell that Smyrna has lost some. They really need some of their younger guys to begin to fill in the gaps, and it's going to take some time. I think they probably are good enough to still end up in the state playoffs, but they are kind of retooling a bit But and then you got Sunday, as you say, the Bills. Mike McAllister, the Bills. I think I'm just realizing what they are. I kind of knew that anyway, but you always hold out hope that you might. You remember that year that I think it was Trent Green got hurt for the Rams, and they went to this guy, this checkout guy from the Piggly Wiggly or whatever it's called. His name's Kurt Warner, and they turned into the greatest show on turf. Strat Delaware knows exactly what I'm talking about as far as the Smyrna Eagles, but where was I? Oh yeah, so you always hold out hope when you see a team that maybe is going to an unproven commodity at quarterback, that maybe you get the old you get the old Kurt Warner effect, and somehow they just turn into the most amazing Cinderella story possible. But I think Nathan Peterman has pretty much shown you that he is not going to be an NFL quarterback, and I'm afraid the Bills are going to turn back to him in Game 2, but I really think they doubt Josh Allen is quite ready. Although I tell you, he's got a heck of an arm, and I'm kind of feeling like if you're going to, if you're planning to lose, why not just get him the lumps and give him the chance? I think guys with, well, for one thing, I would just say that I think a quarterback who is destined for greatness, nothing's gonna thwart him. I think if the only thing maybe could, injury can do that for sure, but I don't know. I mean, he is built somewhat like a tank, and but we'll see. I would rather them sit him for a while and let him learn, kind of like McDermott's mentor Andy Reid did with Donovan McNabb back in the day. And McNabb turned into a pretty serviceable quarterback, actually. I mean, he's not Hall of Fame material probably, but he is. He is a guy that was a pretty good quarterback in that era, where you had Manning and Brady that kind of set the standard, and Roethlisberger then a little later on. But McNabb was in that second tier, who had a great defense helping him out too. So, but I see that so Benny's, his Bears have they just, Rodgers is a buzzsaw. You can never count him out. But I don't know. And there was what was the I was listening. So see you, Mark. Benny, I will say one thing. I like listening sometimes to the Bills, the Buffalo Sports Talk, and the guys up there were really hot on the Bears QB. Or not the Bears' new coach, but then I think that was because they thought maybe he was progressive. But then last night, so what these guys want coaches to start thinking about, and I think it's absolutely true. It's a great point, and the Bears had it happen to them. So they were up by 3, right? And they had a 3rd and 1, and then they threw it and missed the 3rd down, so then they had 4th down. And instead of keeping that 3-point lead, which basically encourages Green Bay to decide to take the tie, instead they kick the field goal, make it 6, and then that gives Green Bay the necessity to have to go down and take a touchdown to win. And you basically just give yourself the opportunity where you're not going to get the ball back probably. So in your game theory that NFL head coaches seem to never, ever progress on, that was probably not a wise move to I mean, granted, Rodgers may go down and throw a touchdown anyway, but a lot of, you also have to assume the NFL coaches are also not going to change and are probably going to be a little on the conservative side when they have a chance to tie the ball game or win it outright, that they may say, you know what, and they're at home, they're going to say, you know what, I like my chances at home in overtime. I'm not going to go and chance that ball over the middle getting picked off and then I lose the game. So a little bit of strategy thought there, and I don't know, some would say, I mean, these guys are also guys that I think advocate more fourth down, being more progressive on fourth and not just accepting that fourth down needs to be a punt down or a field goal down. And if if your percentages play it right, you might want to just go ahead. So, you might just want to try and do it, because the other team's going to probably, with the way the NFL works, a lot of the other teams are just going to run that field on you anyway. So, possession may be worth more at that point. Being able to run out a clock may be more important and keeping possession than just the points themselves. But then again, if you don't get it, then you're basically giving them the ball right there. So, okay, well, appreciate anybody who happens to hit like on these videos. Earl and I both do. I mean, I'm Earl as well. I kind of sound like a fool saying Earl and I, but my partner Earl and this Earl both appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, sharing, and I mean, we try to hit likes on other people's videos too if we can find the time. And I mean, I'm usually checking out YouTube, so I try to hit likes here and there when I can. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I would say, and again, I started this video while I think Stunning Steve Tower was in the midst of his baseball video, so I would encourage you to go check his out after the fact. I appreciate you guys coming in, but I also don't want to necessarily take his anybody from him either, so please go patronize him and like him. He's patronize, be a patron of his channel, and help him out. We all like having views and entertaining people. So let's see, anything else? Have a great, thanks for the golf. Well, we'll have some golf here later this week, probably, maybe tomorrow night some, but we'll see how it works out. But for now, I'm going to sign off and see if I can I'm not going to do anything to these crickets. They're harmless. Now the sprickets, I've got a blowtorch for them. No, just kidding. I'm gonna get the PETA people after me if I say too much. So hey, good night. Thanks a lot, everybody, for Tabletop Earl. This is Tenacious Earl. Thanks for tuning in to Tabletop Baseball Plus. Have a dice day, and see you next time. Thanks a lot. There's a couple more cricket calls for anybody who still wants to hear. Any more? There you go. Good night, guys.